doing these shows, we've done a lot of MCs from the West Coast.
Right.
Because we're here in LA.
Right.
And what I've noticed is there's two family trees that dominate. There's like a Cypress Hill family tree, which is like Evidence and House of Pain and, you know, this vibe. And then there's the NWA family tree, which is like everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You are like an LA transplant.
Right.
Where do you fit in these family trees?
Nowhere.
Okay.
You gotta put me with the Wu-Tang.
Okay.
I'm just
on the rap coast.
Yeah, you got to put me with the Wu and the Nas's and the Tragedy Kadaffis, man.
Yeah, shout out to Tragedy Gaddafi. That was the first rap dude I met.
Yeah, I came up under that because, like, for me, Tragedy is like what I looked up to as a kid because I was like, oh, he's a kid rapper. I was like, I rap too, and he was, you know, he was 16, I was 13, so I'm like, that's what I want. If you Black I'm Proud video, that was me in that era. You know what I'm saying? So I always looked up to that. And then you had other stuff that I looked up to, like Richie Rich. People don't know Richie Rich from 415, Bay Area, Richie Rich.
Shout out to the Jackets.
Yeah, he's, you know, but Richie Rich is like the first street. He's like my first Young Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? He's like the first rapper that I know to go to the feds. First independent rapper I know that had like a popping single out. It's crazy. He was a street dude that had an anti-drug song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what that era was just different. You know what I'm saying? It was like all the dudes that did street shit had anti-street songs. You know what I'm saying? So it was like him. It was a group out of the Bay Area called El Manor Posse. You might not have ever heard of them because one of the artists passed named Cool Nut. He had a song called Scandalous. I used to love El Manor Posse. They was like if you was to mix Public Enemy and if you was to mix like Public Enemy and NWA together with the sounds, hot, like they sound was just like way ahead of its time. Then you had Too Short is a big inspiration of mine. You know what I'm saying? I got to see Too Short in '86 with Run DMC, and not only that, it's just Too Short taught me the fundamentals of rap. A lot of people only know about the nasty version of Too Short. They don't know about the MC side of Too Short.
Right.
And I was just as much into the MC style of Too Short, the party rocking Too Short, B-boy, Coke era Too Short, you know what I'm saying? So my tree, and if you was to go on the West Coast, mine's is Hieroglyphics. I'm a Hiero baby.
I sold clothes to Too Short once.
I'm a Hiero baby.
I did.
I mean, let's just make the
Hiero, man.
I'm a hieroglyphic baby.
Yeah,
I'm from Northern Cali.
As Opio and Tajay and them, like when I was coming in the game, like we saw them on TV. We saw That's When You Lost on the East Coast. And we was like, well, we got to go find them niggas.
That's my tree.
Okay.
And when I say that, I mean literally because I've been on them since the 10th grade. And by coincidence, a guy that was part of my crew, Schoolyard, Billy, we call him Billy White Shoes, he lived 3 houses down from Casual because he's from Oakland, but he ended up living in Billy ended up living in Fresno, and when Hyros came out, he was like, "Yo, they're my boys." I'm like, "What? You got to introduce me to these cats."
Right.
He takes me to Casual's house when they first came out. So for me, I'm sitting here like, these dudes got a record deal. They just as big as Kanye West. They right here. I'm like, wow. You know, I wear a lot of Nautica. They were the first dudes I seen rocking Nautica. I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, because all we wore was low. I'm like, yo, what is that? I'm like, it looked like Polo on steroids. What is this? You know what I'm saying?
Based on a true story.
Wait, Nautica was only
facts, man. Yo, shout out to Hiero. I have to say that, man. Shout out to the Hieroglyphics, man.
Hiero Emporium all day.
My foundation. I remember me and my boy Foof was sitting. I ain't gonna never forget this day. Me and my boy Foof was sitting on a bed, rocking to this college radio station, and Burnt came on, and we knew from that point we were going to make it.
Yep.
I was like, yo, I can make it out of the West Coast. I was like, these dudes from the West.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck in it, call me young, go get it.